Hi, everyone. Nice to see you. I knew that title would get you all here. We're going to have a little bit of fun today, but it's kind of sad at the expense of our country. But that being said, happy hump day, happy therapy day, happy day. I love seeing you all. Makes me super, as you see, it makes me just so happy to spend my hour with you here today. So, with that, I want to thank you all for liking and subscribing and liking this and getting it up there. I think something's happening with YouTube and me a little bit, just to be honest with you. Of course, I say things that probably you're not supposed to say, but I refuse to be silenced. So, with your help, by liking these videos and participating in these live events and really getting my channel to move up, we're going to push against this suppression of voices that are on some level outliers. I don't think of myself as an outlier, though. I think of myself as somebody who wants to build bridges and get us back to a space of democracy and conversation and a different opinion. So with that, thank you everybody for joining me today. I see you all. Thank you so much. Let's do some shout outs about where everybody's from. If you're new here, I love to shout out everybody where you're from. So let me know where you're from. And I saw Houston and I saw Canada. And if you let me know, then I'll shout you out and then we'll get forward. And because we got a lot to discuss today and I got some great TikToks to look at. So with that, tell me where you're from and I'll shout you out and we'll move forward. And then, oh my God, I just can't wait to get to this presidential stuff. It's crazy. Iowa, California. It's so Wales, Minnesota, Colorado, Netherlands, Minnesota. You guys are awesome. South Carolina, Texas, Myrtle Beach, Kentucky, Louisville, right on, Pittsburgh. Right on, you guys. I really love you guys. You're all over the place. Nebraska, England, San Antonio. If I miss you, I'm sorry. It's moving kind of fast. Ohio, Canada, Texas, Simi Valley, Florida, Tennessee. See, look at that. We got people from all over. And I just want you to know this. I appreciate you. San Antonio, Texas. You know, what that means to me is we are building. Dina from LA. Just so you all know, should I spill the beans, Dina? I'm going to spill the beans here, Dina. Dina is my ex from many, many moons ago when I was the other way, when I lived my life as a female. So she has some stories about me, let me tell you. But I love you, Dina, and I miss you. It's really great to have somebody in my life from prior to my transition who's such a beautiful human, and we struggled a little bit, but we're both really so solid in our space today. So it shows a lot. Georgia, North Carolina, Texas, Indiana, Northern Maine. I love you all so much. Thank you for really showing that we can create a community from people all over the world. And we might not all be, Puerto Rico's in the house. We might not all be in the same political space. We might not be on the same lifestyle. But I think what we prove here and what I like, El Salvador is in the house. Oh, hey, Michelle. I just spoke. Michelle's an awesome person. I just had a little conversation with her. And Ontario, Canada's in the house. But I just want to get back to this, building a sort of community. And I do think of this but we don't come from the same communities, and we're all over the place. This is what America is about to me. It's about diversity and inclusion, which that whole LGBT pee poo poo BS is not about. And I think we're dismantling this idea that it is that. Hey, is that you, Braxton? Right on. Braxton's in the house. So we got young trans men here. We got, young people here. As you know, my latest interview with a 22-year-old who's just so smart. It gives me hope for the future of this country when we have 22-year-olds saying, no, I will refuse to put my brain in that space. That's what we need to highlight. And I think getting these interviews and showing you that there are young people who do not subscribe to the insanity. And I think what we are being misled about is that a younger generation is all crazy. They're not. And I have been able to bring a lot and highlight, hey, gay man, I've been able to highlight a group of young people who don't subscribe to the nonsense. And that is so powerful to me because I refuse to let this community or these people who are so insane say that they don't represent anything except insanity. And so as a transsexual person and somebody who's part of the LGBT community, I will not tolerate this insanity. I don't want. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is, in anything, in politics, in anything, just because somebody is the leader of your community does not necessarily mean that they represent everything you have to say. And this is the problem, I think, with our political parties, and why I wanted to discuss the presidential debate on some level, because I don't particularly feel represented by either of those people. Okay. And again, I'm coming to this in a very neutral ground. Okay. I am not going to tell you that I'm pro Biden, and I'm not going to tell you that I'm pro Trump. I'm going to tell you that I'm a middle ground person. I believe in our democracy. I believe in this country. I have actually lived in another country, and I have traveled the world, and I have a sense of other things. Not to say that you don't, but I do, and I think I have some sort of what debate. Nobody was. It was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in my 62 years on this. And it's embarrassing on some level. We just can't have our country this way, people. We can't. It's not fair to any of us. It's not fair to the people. Do we forget what our government is supposed to be doing? We've lost it. It's been bought out by big pharma, by corporations, by money. And you and I think, both agree on that. They do not represent it. I do not feel represented. Now, that being said, I don't know if any of you ever watched Dr. Phil. And Dr. Phil is awesome, actually. He's really come around a lot. He did he did an interview with Trump. He did an interview with Kennedy. And I think that he's has a invitation out for Biden. I'm not sure. Do you all know if he's actually done an interview with Biden yet? But I watched both of those interviews with Trump and with Kennedy. They were amazing. I actually kind of put myself in the Kennedy side, to be honest with you. I was like, this guy's kind of saying things that I could, kind of align with on some level. And here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm not ever going to tell you who I'm voting for. I'm just not going to do it, because I don't necessarily believe that's going to do me any good or you any good. Because what happens in this country is, the minute you say who you're voting for, people just either like you or they dislike you. Okay. And I'm not going to do that, because I don't want you to judge me for my political beliefs. I just don't want you to do that. And I think my political beliefs probably align with a lot of you. But I think what happens is, thanks, Felicia. I do appreciate you so much. I think that what we can all agree on is our country is teetering on not in a good space. Okay. And I think a lot of us can agree that we have been bought out by money and by these powerful organizations. I hate big pharma. I'll be honest with you. I think they're disgusting. I think they have done a lot of damage to this country. I think that we have to roll some stuff back. I think everything is about how much money can you make. I think everything is about how famous you are. I think everything is about how many followers we put. Do you know that I'm sure you do, we put influencers on such a huge pedestal. Who am I going to use right now? Dylan Mulvaney. We put that guy, person, she, on a pedestal like they know everything. I'm like, what? This person doesn't know actually anything. Hey, Lizzie, nice to see you, friend. I appreciate you. I've always been middle. I never judge political choices, and I can't vote for Canada, but we copy everything you do. True. My dad's Canadian, so I'm nervous. You should be. Yeah, and Dr. Phil, thanks, Lizzie. I do appreciate you always coming on board. And I did a great interview with her, so you should watch it. But that being said, I think we need to get back to some kind of this, okay? This. I wish I could bring you all on. I wish I could have all of you here and we're all having a massive conversation, but clearly that won't work. But what I believe that we have built here is some form of conversation. And I get trolls in the house, and I won't tolerate that. But I also get pushback, and I'm very open to the pushback. I am, and because pushback means dialogue to me. And I don't want everybody to agree with everything. I am 100% sure me and you do not agree on everything. My lifestyle is probably a little too wild for you, even though I am now a dad, and I'm much more calm than I was maybe 10 years ago. I'm definitely not that same person, but we should have a TED talk. That would be amazing. But I guess really what we all need to understand here is that I believe that most American people do not agree with what's going on here. I think most American people believe in a democracy. I think most American people really value this country. And I think most American people see something bad happening. And I think everyone is in agreement that we better get our together or we're screwed. And that really is very powerful if you think about that. I want you all to remember this. Seth will be here. I'm not sure where he is right now. I think he was doing something, but he'll be here very soon. Thanks for asking. I think one thing we must all remember here, we the people. I think we forgot that. We the people. The president works for us. We don't work for the president. The government works for us. We, the people, have the power to put you there or to take you out. This has been lost. I definitely think something's wrong with the voting system. I most definitely do. I do not believe that our system is fair. I believe something's sketchy going on. Is it the machines? Is it, I don't know what it is. Is it the laws around it? Should we go back to actually having you have to show up to vote? Or if you actually are in a situation where you can't show up, somebody can come to your house and help you with the voting. There has to be some kind of, oh, I didn't get your super chat, Jen. I apologize. Hold on. I'm moving too fast here. Thanks for, hey, Jen. Thank you, friend. That debate was wild, and I don't know about anyone else, but I was like iceberg. No, I'll tell you right now, back into 2020, let alone 2016, and still looking into a third party. I am too, friend. Thanks, Jen. I appreciate you. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. If I miss your super chat, just know that it's just that I'm trying to watch this. Seth hasn't joined us yet, but just bring it back to my attention, okay? And I'll bring you up. I appreciate all the super chats. I appreciate you all supporting my channel. I cannot do this without you. I will continue to say that to you. There is no way that this channel will grow. I feel like there's some suppression happening, but that's okay. You know, I believe suppression and pushback means you're doing the right thing, if that makes sense. I believe that's why I get it from the transgender community, because they don't want me saying things that need to be said. And you're not going to shut my voice down. It's not going to happen. I refuse to let people tell me what to say and tell me how to act. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to play the game. So with that, I hope that I'm encouraging you all as we continue to grow as a community and as we continue to grow as a people, that we should have the opportunity to say things that make you uncomfortable. I should have the opportunity to say, well, you know what? I don't like that. Doesn't mean I hate you. It just doesn't mean I don't agree with you when you say, little kids can have sex changes. No, I'm not going to agree with you on that. Hey, Den Mother, even though I don't care for Joe Biden at all and the harm that he has caused this country, I can't even believe that Joe Biden is still, that's the thing, you guys. Let's talk about that. On some level, it is elder abuse. People are calling it elder abuse because how dare she? I mean, you all saw after, I'm pretty sure you saw after, it was actually embarrassing the way she was talking to him. She was talking to him like a little child. We all saw it. It was gross and it was wrong and it's not cool. Hey, Lizzie, I'm glad I can afford to help out because I consider investing in you. Oh, that means so much to me, friend. It really does. It goes right back into this platform. It goes right back into making these videos. It goes right back into me doing all of this stuff. And it does. These help me a lot. It really does. So I really do see you. And I always want you to know that I never expect anything from you. So the gifts you all throw at me, showing up, liking, subscribing, those are gifts to me. And I don't take it for granted. So I just want to keep reiterating that to you because it means a lot to me that you all see me here. So I think the problem, thank you so much, friend. Really, it does. It's so amazing and awesome that you really value our conversations and the fact that we can build a platform together and build a community. It's hugely powerful. We're going against the grain. You know that? We're going against the grain. And I think when you go against the grain, it really is very powerful. It shows that no, we're not taking it anymore. We're speaking up. We're not, there's a lot of great platforms on YouTube that are doing this, but I think they're being suppressed too. That's why everybody moved over to Rumble. But I'm the guy that's like, you're not pushing me out. I have a Rumble channel, but I like this platform. And I don't feel like I'm gonna say, okay, I can't do it here. I refused to let that happen to me. And that's why your help really pushes this up. But back to Jill, I think it's really pathetic of her to do that to her husband and to our president. Clearly the dude guts to, hey, Denmark, thanks for joining us. Clearly, he needs to step down. I don't care what anybody says. It's gross. It's wrong. It is actually embarrassing. It's sad. I mean, there's just layers of it there, and everyone's just acting. Though I do think the Dem party is maybe kind of saying, so let me pull up a couple of these video clips that I pulled up here. Hold on one second here. I'm going to share my screen with you all because this is where I found them. Okay. Oh my God, you guys. Okay. Ready?
Of migrants have illegally crossed the southern border on your watch, overwhelming border states and overburdening cities such as New York and Chicago, and in some cases causing real safety and security concerns. Given that, why should voters trust you to solve this crisis?
Because we worked very hard to get a bipartisan agreement that not only changed all of that, it made sure that we are in a situation where you had no circumstance where they could come across the border with the number of border police there are now. We significantly increased the number of asylum officers, significantly. By the way, the Border Patrol endorsed my position. In addition to that, we found ourselves in a situation where when he was president, he was separating babies from their mothers, putting them in cages, making sure the families were separated.
You can't hear
That's
it?
not the right way to go.
Can you guys
what
hear
I've
it?
done since I've changed the law, what's happened? I've changed it in a way that now
Yeah.
we're in
Well,
a situation where
can you hear it now?
40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. That's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the
Wait.
total initiative relative to what we're going to do with
Wait.
more border patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look,
Oh, that's the part I wanted you all to hear. That's the part I all wanted you to hear because it really, really, whether or not you could hear it or not, whether or not you could hear it or not, oh no, we can't. It's not okay. That was like in the beginning of the debate, and I was like, what? Trump just, my God, are you kidding me? Trump's like 75 or something, and Biden's like 83 or something. But he literally slurred. He actually slurred. How can we have that? We can't have that. And then of course Trump is sorry, but the guy knows how to play the game. He was a reality TV star. He literally knows how to jab you, get you, move you. It was sad and it's wrong. But at the same time, like, I mean, I was laughing I'll tell you guys, I was laughing, which is, hey, Ruby, thank you so much, friend. I was laughing, you guys, which is not okay. I shouldn't be laughing. That's just wrong. Hey, Michelle, you should look into the recent presidential election in El Salvador. Citizens abroad voted electronically. The president won by a landslide. I lived in Mexico, so I was an expat voting, and that's a whole other level of stuff. So thanks for that, friend. I appreciate that. But so, wow, really? They put that guy up on stage with Trump. Sorry, even though Trump's in his 70s, he's still got his stuff together. The guy has his stuff together. And it was embarrassing and wrong that they should have just stopped it at that point. They should have. they just not. I really do think it's elder abuse, and on some level, embarrassing. The whole world saw that. The whole world saw that. And how now are we supposed to move forward as a country when our two presidential candidates are completely at odds, that they only care about each other? Do you think that they care about us? I don't feel cared for. Hey, Lizzie, thank you. I've taken care of elders my whole life. My best friend is 77. Biden needs a blanket, and I'm see what I mean? The match game marathon and a bag of see? How can you not say stuff like that? I mean, I agree with you. I also I really I think we need elders. I think they're very important. Thank you, Jen. Jill Biden priorities are whack. Also, apparently, she's on the cover in the story of Vogue. Of course she is. Vogue, Vanity Fair, all of them. They're super left. They're super left. They're not fair. They're not for us. Those magazines like put transgender children on the front of those magazines, by the way. They put transgender children on the front of those magazines. It's disgusting. So whatever you think of Vanity Fair and Vogue, they shouldn't be political. That's how I feel. They just should not be political. That's a fashion magazine. What's happening? What's happening? So that was one clip that I know you all saw. I'll try to make the volume a little higher on this one. But this is I'm going to bring this. It's a clown world. I'm going to bring this next clip up because I think this says it all. This particular clip, to me, when I saw this, I watched the whole debate. I was on the floor laughing. I actually was, which is sad. This next clip, to me, really says everything about the whole debate. Okay, the whole debate. Hey, Jane, thank you so much for that, friend. Thank you. The debate was insane. But I do believe JB needs to step down and that someone else in the Dem Party should run up against Trump for press. 100%. I love you, Buck, and keep up the good work. Thank you, friend. That means a lot to me. Maybe I should run. Just kidding. Never will I run for any political space. I don't understand people. I'm not a political person that way. It's too much of an ego-based space, and you don't necessarily get to be free. You have people telling you. I really believe that. I don't believe you get to be that president. I think everyone's, well, first off, they're propping Biden up. Did you ever see that movie, Vacation at Bernie's? Is that what it's called? It's hilarious, where Bernie dies, but like they don't want him to know he's dead, so they like prop him up at the party. It's brilliant, and he's dead, but everyone's trying. It's literally that. So Biden is not alive, and people are propping him up and like putting his arms, and somebody's behind, like making him go. That is so. What was it called? Bernie's Weekend at Bernie's. It's so hilarious. And basically that's what's happening right now. Weekend at Bernie's for sure. So I'm going to just give you a little heads up here for this clip. This is the clip that broke me. This was the clip that I said, we're done. This is not a presidential debate. This is something else. This is like, these two guys hate each other. Thank you, friend. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you becoming a member. It really helps the channel a lot. So yeah, he didn't look real. He just did not look real. The whole thing was so crazy, you guys. I can't take it anymore. I just can't take it anymore. We've got to do something in this country, and we can't have these people as our presidential running people. And I don't even think I think both of them are just not, they're angry at each other. And I also think a lot of people were spewing bullshit stuff. And I don't think a lot of stuff were factual from what I'm hearing and what I believe. I think a lot of stuff was just said. Thank you, friend. Thank you, Felicia. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm going to bring this up now. This to me was what the debate was about. The whole thing was about this. So here, let me bring this up. Hold on one sec. Oh, thanks, Jen. I'll go back and look, and I'll get all your super chats after I post this. Buck, hopefully not Gavin. Nope. Not a fan. If he gets in, I'm totally not voting if he does. I hate him even more than Biden. I'll be honest with you. So nope, if he even runs, I'm not voting for him, just so you know. That I'll be honest about. I can't stand that guy. He's a creep. So let me bring this up here. And let me bring this up. So this to me was what the whole debate was about.
I took physical exams every year.
Can you hear it?
And, we knock on wood wherever we may have wood, that I'm in very good health. I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way. And I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. I think I'm in very good shape. I feel that I'm as in good a shape as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter, but I'm in as good a shape as I was years ago. I feel very good. I feel the same. But I was willing to take a cognitive test. And you know what? If I didn't do well, I aced them. Dr. Ronnie Jackson, who's a great guy when he was White House doctor. And then I took another one, a similar one. And one of them said they've never seen anybody ace them.
Thank you. President Biden?
You can see he is 6'5" and only 223 pounds or 235 pounds. Well, you said 6'4", 200. Well, anyway, that's what anyway. Just take a look at what he says he is, and take a look at what he is. Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. And by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
That's the biggest lie that he's a 6 handicap of all.
I was an 8 handicap.
Yeah.
Is this happening right now?
But I have, how many?
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
Hey, let's
not act like children.
President Trump, we're going
Doing you
Let's
guys.
not act like children.
Anyone with $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans may
Wait,
qualify
sorry, I
for
got
help
it.
from National.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That just happened. I gotta say. That was it for me. That was it for me. Golfing. You are talking about your golfing. Our country is in crisis. They are giving little children sex changes. And you're talking about that's when I said, no, it's not about me and it's not about you, people. We the people. We're over here. They're more worried about themselves, their golf scores, their tests, their cognitive tests, I don't even know. Lying about both of them were lying about shit. Like, what's golf scores? I mean, just sit with that for a minute. What has happened to our country? That should be illegal, by the way. That's it. They got to be docked pay. I'm going to go back to you, Michelle. Hold on. Ashley, thank you so much, friend. Could we bring back debates with true statistics, economic, social plan? That's right. And stop that's right. That's what I'm trying to say. Muckraking feels like 2 old men. That's exactly my point, friend. Thank you so much. How dare they waste our time? How dare they do that? That was insane. Hold on. I got to get Michelle here. Where'd you go, Michelle? I missed. Here you go. Is that you? Yeah, here you go. Michelle, you should look into the recent presidential. Oh, I got you. Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm going to actually get the debate. The debate was insane. That debate was insane, but I do believe JB needs to step down. That's right. I have you. Here you go. I am starting to think, thank you, Michelle, that the dingbats in the Dem party totally know he's not healthy and know that Kamala can't win on her own merits. So they are going to have him resign after, you hit it. Bing, 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 bing. You win. You hit it. That's exactly what's going to happen. It's obvious. It's literally obvious. It's sick, you guys. We can't have. I just feel so sad. I feel sad. I feel like, where are we? I'm 62 years old, people. I'm not a child. You know, my health care matters to me. My country matters to me. I have a kid and I'm adopting a kid. Well, I didn't adopt him. Well, I guess I did on some level, but my kid I have now. But that being said, I'm also adopting another kid, and I want these kids to grow up in an environment that's healthy politically. I want these kids to grow up with reality-based schooling systems. I want these kids to grow up in a space where they can have free conversation. I want these kids to grow up in a space where they're allowed to speak their mind. You know, I don't want these kids to grow up, and not just my own kids, but your kids too. You know, the future depends on me and you as adults, by the way. Me and you as adults have to step up and just stop this shit. Because if we don't, our children, not only our actual children, but the children of this country will suffer. And that's not fair to them. We owe it to a young generation. We're not giving them what they deserve. You know, I tell you, I believe I grew up in a great environment in the 60s and 70s. Hey, T, thank you, friend. Isn't it scary that we do not know the identity of the person or persons that are actually, oh, bam, 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 ding, 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 ding. Hit another one. Sweet. The truths are coming out. We do not. I believe it's Weekend at Bernie's. I believe Biden is Weekend at Bernie's. He's just going through the motion. Oh, hey, Seth, thanks for joining us, buddy. Seth is in the house now. It's just, you know, I don't care who you're voting for. That's your choice. And that's a personal, I believe your choice in your presidential choice is yours and it's private. I do believe it's private. And I don't think you need to disclose that to anybody. But what I want to really instill in you today is sit with yourself and look at everything. Don't just listen to what you saw on the internet or these gross, stupid debates, puppets. Really think about your power as a person, because your pen and your check mark are actually powerful. Don't think they aren't. I'm gonna disclose something here. When I was a young person, I didn't vote. I didn't even realize the power of voting. I was like, I'm not showing up. It's a waste of my time, or I don't feel like going. I'd rather go to the beach, right? I didn't. I actually didn't vote for many years because I didn't understand the power of my vote. And I think really the young generation right now needs to understand the power. And we, as older people and people who have grown up in this country, you cannot underestimate the power of the check mark or the poke or whatever it is. It's so, so important that you step back from this. And why do we only have two? Let me pose this question. Pay attention. That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you. I want to pose this question to all of you. Why do we only have two people that we can vote for reals? Of course, we have Kennedy and we have some other candidates from independent parties and all that. But why do we have only Biden and Trump here? Because I heard from Kennedy when he was talking to Dr. Phil that he approached CNN, right? Thank you, Jen. Always remember to hear the phonic lie in politician. Excellent. You understand? I heard Kennedy said on his Dr. Phil that he had approached CNN and asked them if he could also be part of the presidential. Isn't he a presidential running candidate? He is. He totally is. And he went to CNN and he asked, and they denied him a platform. Vivek, I actually liked Vivek, but I don't know what happened to him. Did he disappear? Like, what happened? I actually thought the guy was kind of smart, to be honest with you. Big corporations don't want Kennedy because he's against it. He's against big pharma. He's against the corporations, which I am too, to be honest with you. So I aligned with him on some level. But I really want to know. I'm going to look right now. I'm going to ask the question again. So, Watcher, thank you, friend. Love you, Buck. I didn't vote either, to my shame. I know it's embarrassing, but I always unload my embarrassing moments here. You remember, we're in therapy. Don't forget. Don't ever feel shy to say things here because we're all being honest about are sort of flaws on some level. Yeah, I feel embarrassed about the fact that I didn't understand the power of my vote. And I think that we need to instill that in all of us, not just young people, but in all of us. Don't be lazy about voting. And even whoever you vote for, don't understand the power of that and realize that other countries, people don't even have that opportunity. But here's the question I want to ask you all. Why do we only have a sort of two-party system? What is sick? Thanks, Den Mother. Is that Biden administration is giving free housing and money to illegals? That's right. While we have homeless vets. Oh, don't get me started. My sister's a vet. I have a lot of family in military and the police department. My family comes from that space. Oh, don't get me started on the vet thing. It makes me extremely angry. I live in Los Angeles, and the VA hospital in Westwood is insane. We have homeless vets in tents. Sick, right? But here they are, war, military. And then when they come home, crickets. That's something you should think about when you're voting. Those people fight for our freedom, whether you want to believe in the military or not. Those young people go and do things. A lot of them come back mentally messed up from war and shit. And here we are just throwing them away like nothing. It's sick when you see a vet on the street. That just breaks my heart. And I think it's disgusting and wrong and on so many levels. Why do we only have a two-party system? What? Why? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. It's not fair to us. I don't like either party. I grew up as a Democrat. I mean, my parents are Republicans. Both my sisters are Republicans. But I'm more of my parents were always pushing me towards Republican, but I grew up as, and on some level, a Democrat. I don't in any way align with the Democratic Party anymore. I feel lost. I don't feel Republican and I don't feel Democrat, to be honest with you. So divide and conquer. There you go. That's what I was looking for. Wait. Yeah. Guys, if Biden wins, then the Russians voted. Yeah, it's possible. But wait, where's that Kim? That's what I think. And that's what I think with everything in this country right now. With the LGBT pee poo community, with Free Palestine, with all of the stuff, anti-Israel, anti-Semitism. I mean, I could go on and on. Racism, white people are bad. Think about all the things I'm telling you right now. All of these sort of talking points are very divisive. If you're on Free Palestine, you're an anti-Semitic. If you are pro-Israel, you're a genocider person. If you are against children transitioning, you're transphobic. If trans women aren't women, you're transphobic. I mean, think about all the talking points that they have laid on the table for all of us to sort of have to be a part of, right? Right? Jen, it's just a theory, but I believe there really is only one party behind the curtain. Ding, 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 ding. I think you've done 2 dings or 3 dings. I should start giving away prizes. Seriously, you're all so smart. I believe this. I don't believe that it's actually a 2-party system. I believe that they play with each other. You go be president this term, dude. I don't want to take it on. Oh, you go be, and then they manipulate our thought processes. It's so easy, especially these days. It is easier more than ever to manipulate us because of the internet. The internet gives us a way to I can sway you. If I really wanted to sway you, I do think I could do it. And not to say that you're dumb. You're not. It has nothing to do with being dumb. It's understanding how to talk and how to put false information in front of you and to make you not do your research or your due diligence, because people do stuff like this. I read the book. You don't need to read it. And then dumb shits don't read the book because the person that they put on a pedestal has read the book for you. Here, I'll give you an example. There's this idiot trans guy who I cannot stand. He's an attorney for the ACLU. I'm not even going to say his name because I hate the dude. He's a complete total poser, and I can't stand the guy. He's so annoying. I'll tell you this right here. Hey, Lizzie, my uncle Dexter got treated terribly. He was well off, but no one would listen to him or help him through his pain. Lots of the women in my family told me not to talk to him about it, but I was so interested in his vet stories. You just gave me a great idea. If any of you know any vets, maybe I should bring my sister on to talk about it. But we should talk to some vets on this channel. I should interview some vets. Thank you, Lizzie. Thank you so much, friend. I should really get some vets, and let's talk about how they're treated when they come home. I had uncles in the military in like World War One, I think it was, and possibly World War II. My mom always talks about my uncle Ralph from World War One and how he came back all messed up. He was actually in a constant, I think he was in a camp. Was it him? One of my uncles was actually in a camp. Maybe it was Vietnam. And he came back so messed up, he couldn't be around dogs because they had dogs attack him in the hut that he was put in. So when he came home, he was so fearful of dogs. And so this is real PTSD that happens to a lot of these guys that we don't even have conversation about. But I want to go back to this guy who's part of the ACLU, and he's a trans man, and he's an attorney with the ACLU. Who's a complete prick. And so how do you really feel, Buck? Anyway, he does really weird shit like this. He says, y'all don't need to read it. I read it. And I'm telling you, it's transphobic. What? How dare you tell people? Thank you, Desi. You're awesome. Appreciate you so much. How dare he tell a young generation of trans people, right, not to read it? What is going on? Michelle, we have become so divided and critical thinking is becoming uncommon. In general, we are sheep. That's right. We are sheeples. I was raised to look at the pros and cons. But what happened to that? Michelle, what happened to that? How are we not encouraging people to push against the narrative? How are we not? How come these young people feel like they're fearful, but how did we get into a space where even the young generation doesn't feel comfortable because they'll lose their community? They'll lose their community. And that's the gaslighting, the manipulation, and this desire. That's not democracy, and that's not freedom, and that's not teaching a young generation to speak up for their own. That's why this last interview I did with, I think her name is Megan, and she was amazing, and she's 22, and she was like, I'm not getting part of that. And so if you haven't watched the Megan interview, I highly suggest you do, because she's just, listen to it at the gym or driving somewhere. You don't have to watch it. You can totally just listen to it as a podcast. And I think it's really, it'll give you hope for a young 22-year-old generation of kids who I thought were all caught up in TikTok and insanity. I want to start bringing up some of these important TikToks that I found. If you guys are all ready to go with that. So we could talk all day. You all know that. But I have a great reaction video coming about pride that is going to blow your mind. It's so disgusting. So again, I value you guys a lot. You really, our time always goes so fast. It's crazy. I'm like, whoa, this is like the fastest therapy session. Therapy never goes this fast. So I'm going to bring up this one first because I think it really pertains a lot to what we've been talking about. Seth says, my cousin has been in the Army for 15 years. He's 35. He has a lot of thoughts, especially about how, I should interview him. Why don't you bring him on, dude? Why don't you get him connected to us? And I would love to, bring him on. Den Mother, I was in Manhattan, New York in April of this year. And because of the the national, I don't really like to call them aliens, but that's okay. The National Guard was out in full gear and M16 that our nation should come first. I'm sorry your country sucks. I'm sorry you need to come to America. But if we don't take care of our own people first, how are we going to take care of you? Do you know what they say in the airplane? We all know what they say in the airplane. Put your gas mask, put your air mask on first. Then you can help everybody else. It's the same thing. Let's take care of our country. I'm not saying like shut down, like kick everybody out. That's not what I'm saying. People are already here. Let's be very cool with that. People have lived here for 15, 20 years, who have contributed to our country, who have had kids. God bless you. Let's solid that right there. But let's stop with this. We have to save everybody. You can't save everybody, just so you know. You will destroy this country if you think you can save everybody. Stop it already. So let's just stop that. Let's get back to fixing what we need to fix here, our infrastructure, everything, our American people. We've got to come first before them. I'm sorry if you think that that's racist or that's ridiculous. It's called American, and it's called taking care of yourself first. I'm going to take care of my health first before I take care of yours, just so you know. That doesn't make me a bad person. That says that I care about myself in order to care about you. I care about my mental health, so I'm solid, so you and I can have these solid conversations. If I don't take care of that, then I can't have these solid conversations. What is the matter with saying our country comes first before the people out there from other countries? Why don't we help other countries get back on their feet? Why don't we start supporting their infrastructure? Why don't we start telling them, okay, let's help you build a great system so that your people don't want to come to this country? How come that's a bad idea? We can't take care of everybody. That's just ridiculous. I can't prep too. Right on. I believe this. Thank you, friend. This idea of me, and cutting people off who disagree with greatly perpetuated throughout the pandemic, and it has had a profound effect. Ding, ding, ding. Another great comment. 100%. The pandemic screwed us all up. It was happening. I don't know if you guys know, but it was happening with the young generation. They were getting a little bit nutty. But I'm not anti-immigration. My dad immigrated from Canada. So no, I'm not. I'm about doing it the right way. And I'm also about helping people. And I'm also about how about if we help other people get on their feet there, right? How about if we teach other countries how to build a great space? We can't save the world. That's not the way it's going to work, people. We can't. We got to save us before we can save them. So I don't care what you think about that. I don't care if you call me a racist and a Nazi and then you're not listening. Then you're just in your own weird shit. So with that,
transgender surgeries could come up as a big topic in tonight's debate as newly released emails show a top Biden health official and her staff suggested removing age minimums for the controversial procedures. Chief Washington correspondent Mike Emanuel is on this live in Washington for us. Mike, what is the White House saying about this ahead of the debate?
Well, Sandra, White House officials are distancing themselves from it. Legal filings reveal the Biden administration advocated for removing age limits for adolescents undergoing transgender surgeries.
Here it comes.
Health and Human Services Assistant Secretary Admiral Rachel Levine, who is transgender, led the effort and was successful. Emails from members of a group responsible for developing transgender medical guidelines show Admiral Levine's staff expressed political concerns regarding age minimums, recalling a conversation with Levine's chief of staff. Quote, she is confident based on the rhetoric she is hearing in D.C. and from what we have already seen that these specific listings of ages under 18 will result in devastating legislation for trans care. She wonders if the specific ages can be taken out. Yet Levine has said she's glad she transitioned later in life. Here was her message on Transgender Day of Visibility.
I can't listen to her. She's disgusting. I can't stand that freak. You know what? That's our government. I'm transsexual, people. Don't forget that. Just because I'm transsexual does not mean I have to agree with every transsexual. That's like saying, I'm gay. I believe in every gay person. Bullshit. That's not my identity. It's my disorder. I don't need to save the trans community, and I don't align with those freaks. And that person was pushing trans kids. That person, Dr. Rachel Levine, who transitioned a week ago, and all of a sudden is now can talk about how to I transitioned 32 years ago. I have way more experience than Dr. Levine does. And now we busted Dr. Levine, scam artist, pushing sex changes on children. Sick freak. That's our government. That's what I keep trying to tell you all. I don't care that you're trans. That means nothing to me. Can you do the job? Are you situated for it? When we put trans people like that in office, it actually takes away from us. It does not help us in any way, shape, or form. In any way, shape, or form. I would never run. Though I would never run for office, I just want to let you know, I would never run as a trans person. That's not how I would run as a political person. I would run as Buck. I would run as Buck is going to come in and do X, Y, and Z. My trans shit is over here. Yeah, I have some experience with it. I have some experience with it. That would never be my platform. Why? Because I don't believe in that. Why is that person literally in the office as a trans person? That right there should show you that it's bullshit. They're running on trans. They should have never hired somebody to do that. It's all complete smoke and mirrors. That's the part of the Biden administration that I hate. I hate it. It's a lie. And they used us. They used the LGBT community to get brownie points. Lizzie says, do you believe in lizard people? Because I believe Lizzie might be one. You're on fire, Lizzie. You're on fire. Possibly. I think you're right. But that being said, okay, yeah, let's put Blair and Buck in office. Blair and I are not going to run as trans people. We're going to run as people who believe in this country, who believe to get us back on our feet, we have to do X, Y, and Z. Our trans stuff is over here. That's why Blair and I align. We probably don't align 100% on political, but you know what? That also makes a great, powerful party. A great, powerful party are people who aren't 100% aligned. Do you know that? Think about it. My partner and I don't align politically on a lot of things. We are a power couple, just so you know. Because we can have these conversations and we can just move and maneuver and find things and do things together and raise our child with different ways of being. There's things I don't like she does and things that she doesn't like that I do. And as parents, you understand what I'm saying. How come our political party isn't run like that? No political party should have these two people in 100% alignment. That is a complete joke. And that's why we're here where we are today. And that Levine, so anyway, getting back to that, did you notice the White House now? I don't know. Did you notice? You must understand what I'm saying here. The White House has now pulled back. They do not agree with trans children surgeries. You understand? They actually made a public statement for the first time. Guess why? This is the part you need to be pissed off about. They would never say it before. The only reason that they have come out with the fact that they don't align with transgender kids surgery is because Dr. Levine got busted. That's why. Do you believe that they're honest in that? They're not. The only reason that they came clean is because they got busted. They were going to continue to push trans kids surgery. Hey, Michelle, you and Blair align well because you respect each other. That's right. We are great, solid friends. And that is right because we don't hate each other because we don't necessarily agree. That's the thing I'm trying to tell you all here. And you're all smart and you get it. But how do we get this message out there? Me and you all align with shit. I can already tell. Me and you align. It's why you show up. But how do we get this message to that? Because we can't keep talking to each other. We can't. We've got to have the power to get this to people who actually feel, I need to hear some solid shit. How do we get them to hear me and you? Say, wait a minute, kiddo, you don't have to vote for X, Y, and Z because your parents did or because your community is telling you to. That fake ass LGBT poo-poo bullshit community. They're pushing Biden. But now they got busted. Any LGBT person who's voting for Biden right now because they're LGBT, you're completely being misguided because they're not. They're not. It makes me very angry, as you see. I get very heated. So I'm not sure. Could I be on the stage as a politician? I'm not sure I could because I get too heated and I get too emotional. I don't know how to sort of calm, dude. Literally calm down. I don't know how. I don't know if it would come across okay because I'd just be like, what? So with that, I would cry. I might even start crying when they start saying, well, kids can have sex changes. I would just lose it. I would lose it. Totally. Okay. I want to talk about this. This is very important to all of you because this is important to me. Okay. This is going to be more of a personal thing I'm going to talk about. Okay. And it's really important I want you to all understand why this is important to me. Okay. Say, hey, Dan, I'll read this and then we'll move forward with that. Not aligning helps us to learn how to compromise. I talk a lot about on my channel. That's right. If you haven't followed Den Mother, please do, because she's helping a lot of the situation here, and we need to help these channels grow. Elisa, thank you, friend. Appreciate you. Love watching you spread the truth and hold people accountable. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot to me. You know, that's how we get back. You know, learn how to say, I fucked up. Learn how to say that. Learn how to say, okay, maybe I wasn't right. Learn how to say, I made a mistake. I want to tell you, 10 years ago, I was all for transitioning kids. I say it all the time. I'm not anymore. F off if you don't like that I change my mind. I'm allowed to change my mind. How dare you tell me I have to stay solid? How many people in this room, okay, before I move to this, thumbs up or thumbs down? How many of you have ever made a mistake and changed your mind? How many? And owned up to it and said, I made a mistake. And it's totally, that's it. Or I changed my mind. I bet every single one of you are going to do a thumbs up right now. I'll drink a little water. Let's see. There you go. Look, it's normal. It's actually normal to change your mind. It's not normal, okay? And it's detrimental to your mental health to pretend like I'm fine. You're not fine. I can prep too. Right on, friend. Teach the kids, politicians, and activists have more angles than protractor. But we're not teaching the kids that. We're teaching the kids one way or the highway. Everyone has thumbs up because everyone makes mistakes. And if you don't own up to your mistake, it's going to stick in your brain and you're going to get mentally messed up from it and you're going to get sick from it. We need to encourage people to make mistakes. We need to encourage people to change their mind. We need to encourage people to say, it's okay. What's not okay is to tell people that they can't do it. Why do you think we have so many detransitioners? So anyway, let me get to this real quick here because we're getting to the hour. So listen, watch this. Thanks, Desi. I appreciate you, friend. Thank you so much, friend. Watch this. So this person is spreading this.
So funny to me when I tell people that I've become stronger, faster, a better athlete since starting taking testosterone as a trans guy, and people are like, see, I told you that having testosterone makes you better at sports. That's why it's not fair for trans women to compete in women's athletics.
Oh my God, you're so annoying.
Dude, I am proof that hormone replacement therapy replaces your hormones. As a trans masculine person, I am replacing my girl hormones with boy hormones, and that makes me better at sports. Yeah.
Okay, complete moron. Now, this 20-year-old trans man, okay, is probably a year on hormones and has no clue what they're saying, but is doing this on TikTok and teaching the young generation that they're replacing their hormones. You're not replacing shit, buddy. And you know what? It shouldn't be called HRT. You stole that from Women's Health, by the way. HRT is for women on menopause. You're replacing estrogen, right? That's where HRT comes from. I didn't replace my hormones. I actually put hormones in. Okay, so I added hormones. I added testosterone. That's why I look like this. I didn't replace my estrogen. I lowered my estrogen. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm not going to give you guys all a hormone thing because you get it. That shit pisses me off because this is why. Now I'm going to show you why I showed you that. So this kid, watch this. So you all know that they push back on gay. Sorry, my internet's acting crazy. Hold on. I don't know why. So you know that they push back on gatekeeping. They actually push back on gatekeeping. It's crazy. This is why we need gatekeeping. So this kid is saying now, after I've been yelling for gatekeeping, okay, now this young guy says we need a little bit of gatekeeping. So watch this. Watch. This is going to blow your mind.
Stop testosterone. I'm not on HRT right now because recently I did my testosterone labs and it came back as 4,800. Not 480, but 4,800.
Do you understand how high that is? 4,800.
Near 5,000. And the normal male range is between 3 and 900, I believe.
And the normal range is between 3 and 500. And okay, I know you're going to say he's a she, but I'm just going to be very respectful because I like when you call me he, and he identifies as a he. So let's just move over from that. But that being said, what? Watch.
So they try to keep trans man in that same window. And for reference, I'm on the 1.62 gel, like 3 doses a day. And so
3 doses a day. Okay, it gets worse.
Like, why would it go this high on gel? We don't know, but we do know that everyone's body absorbs.
We know why, buddy, because you're doing it 3 times a day.
Testosterone and processes it differently, and mine is absorbing it at like a varsity level, apparently. But what we do know is that having it that high is very dangerous because it puts you at risk for like a cardiac event.
Yeah.
Or like blood pressure issues, or
yeah.
Potentially the excess testosterone can convert into estrogen. My estrogen
duh.
is like around 68, and I think they try to keep trans men between 10 and 50. But anyways,
so how did you get 3 times a day, dude? And how did you not know this before you were taking the testosterone? My doctor gave me a whole lecture on testosterone 32 years ago. Why do you think I'm this way? I've never had any problems except for atrophy because they didn't understand because I was an experiment. This dude is doing it 32 years later after me. Do you hear me? 32 years after me. And now
my doctor said that I have to go off of it for about like 3 to 6 months because that's the amount of time that it would take for my body to clear testosterone completely. And then we're going to start injections because you can be a lot more precise.
By the way, I've never done cream. I've only ever injected. Okay. To this day, I only inject. It is so much better to inject than it is for many reasons. But watch, this kid knows nothing.
With like the dosages with injections versus gel. And I'm really not looking forward to this.
So of course he doesn't want to inject because it's really not easy in the beginning, but it's healthier because it's easier just to rub that shit inside of you. But look what it did. They want to all take the easy, fast way out.
But as much as I want to be the most roided out dude, it's just not.
As much as I want to be the most roided out dude, you listen to this guy. That's his ultimate goal, is to be the most roided out guy. What are you saying?
Not the safest thing for my body. I got a new PCP and he required me to do all these labs before re-prescribing me to.
He required me. That should be mandatory. That's why we need gatekeeping. He's acting as if it's like a bad thing to do all these tests.
Testosterone, despite the fact that I've been on it for 2 years, and I felt like he was gatekeeping me. Like I was like,
I felt like he was gatekeeping me. You see what they're doing?
Like, this is such a long process of all these little things back and forth, all these appointments. But I'm really glad that he did because we would have never caught this because also my kidneys are failing. And
bam, there you go. Did you hear it? His kidneys are failing. His kidneys are failing. My kidneys have never had a problem. I'm totally healthy. I've never had a heart attack, 32 years. Do you know what these kids say to me? They call me old, antiquated. I don't know what I'm talking about. A gatekeeper, a transmedicalist, every word in the book, these kids call me. Yet all I've been doing is saying X, Y, and Z is how you should do it. But I'm not right. This kid is listened to. He's dying now. I'm surprised he hasn't had a heart attack. It's shocking. He has kidney failure.
All these issues are very workable, but
dude, not workable. You have kidney failure.
I wouldn't have expected. But yeah, the reason why I'm talking about my transgender related health problems again on the internet is not just because I love oversharing and I'm an expositionist. It's because I want to bring some nuance to the conversation of
nuance. You should listen to your elders, buddy. That's the reason we're here. And we've been standing up trying to fight for you. But you instead get Planned Parenthood to dish out hormones to you kids like it's candy. You're going to ruin it for all of us because this kind of video gets taken by the people who hate us. And then they say, see what happens? They don't know what they're doing and they're killing these kids. And then I lose my medical space. I lose everything I fought for to get to this space because you're a sloppy ass mess who wants to be steroided out, whatever the fuck that means. You understand what I'm saying? Do you all understand why I'm so mad? I hope you really do, because I can't handle this anymore. I'm so mad about it. I don't want to be. Thank you, friend. I appreciate you so much for seeing me. It makes me want to cry, but give it up, dude. It's not just Biden. It's the entire. I know. I said it. You really should consider looking at your devotion to the label and a look at your values, King. I'd love to have a. Well, why are you talking to me like that? I'm not going to have a conversation with you when you talk to me like that. That you're being nasty. That's nasty. Let me just think about this for 1 minute here. Give it up, dude. Okay, what am I supposed to give up? I'll have a full-on conversation with you. Okay, they hate the base. I laugh every time I watch. You really should consider looking at your devotion to the label. What's the label? What's the label? I'll give you one more chance to come up after I just spoke that. Something about the way you spoke to me here is making me feel that you're just being kind of condescending. So maybe I'm wrong, and I'll be the bigger man and apologize if I am. Am I being wrong? Is that person being condescending to me? It feels very condescending. Buck, it seems like this person has an addiction to. No, they do. This is the problem I'm trying to tell you. You can't just shoot testosterone. It's condescending. I knew it. I'm not being. No, she's being condescending. If you want to have an interview with me, let me go back. Who's this person? Bring it back up. Hey, I don't want to be woke or broke. If you want to have a conversation, there's an email. You email Seth. We'll set you up. I have no problem having an interview with you. But let me just give you a little bit of hint here. I'm very open-minded. This is my channel. Actually, no, it's our channel. And we have conversation here. The majority of the people don't talk to me like that, even when they disagree with me. So let me give you a little bit of something, okay? Don't talk to people like that. That's not how you make conversation. You don't do that, okay? I don't know. You come off as if you're better than me. You're not better than me, okay? I guarantee you, you're not better than me. You might have different opinions. You might think you know things more. You don't, okay? You know things differently than me. That's the problem. So send Seth an email. I'll get you on to an interview, and then we'll get to see what kind of person you really are. I appreciate the tip. Thank you very much. So with that, everybody, I just want to let you know that these young people are being led down the wrong path. They're being led down the wrong path. Okay? And that's really sad to me, because this young person is going to suffer the consequences of shoving testosterone as if they knew what they were doing all along. And now they want a little gatekeeping. No, dude, a lot of gatekeeping. I'm exposing these young trans guys who hate me, by the way, because I'm exposing this bullshit. I have a self-interest here, by the way. I have self-interest. This, on some level, has changed my, well, not on some level, it literally changed my life. I live a beautiful life as a transsexual man. It's not everything and everything, but it actually made me a better person. I can sit here today and have conversation with you all and not feel this way and not feel so disconnected to my own self. That's called gender dysphoria. I don't want anyone to ever lose that, okay? There are many people like me. I'm not the one and only tranny. There's tons of us out there. Okay. I just am able to do this for some reason. I've been able to build a platform to do these things and to give back to the community. And then we have young trans guys just take advantage of the whole thing. I want to be steroided out. That's going to do nothing for you. Unless you're working out and understanding and going on the internet and understanding how hormones work. What do you mean? Yes, transsexuals we are working hard to be disconnected from that nonsense. Just disconnected. Disconnected. I will not be part of that. So with that, everybody, I love you so much. You mean the world to me. Like, let me just bring this one because I love this person. This person is so important to me. Hey, Danny. I know Seth is getting it together. We had a little bump in the road, but we're getting it together. I appreciate you mentioning that. Thanks, Danny. I do appreciate you a lot. So let me bring this one last up. I just want to leave you with a beautiful trans woman. Okay. This woman, if you're not knowing who she is, you need to know who she is. She's really, really awesome. Okay. And she really puts the message out there. I don't want you to think all trans women are wingnuts, because they're not. There's so many great based ones like Blair, and just totally get it and respect you as women and respect women's spaces. So listen to her. Listen.
Not transgender, then you are cisgender.
Why is it always people who aren't biological women correcting others on what to call women? I'm trans and I can't stand the word cis. If trans people want everyone to call them by their preferred pronouns, then why must we enforce the word cis on people who don't want to be called it? It makes no sense, cis. And I'm all for acknowledging the difference between a biological woman and a trans woman. But that's why we're called trans women, and they are simply just women. Say it with me, they are women. Just women. It doesn't take away from trans women by acknowledging this. And guess what? I'm not offended to be called a trans woman because I'm not ashamed to be trans. It doesn't hurt me at all to make that distinction. If we have any respect for women, then the word cis has to go away completely.
Right on.
Cis and sister is the only way I'll be using it.
That's what I want to leave you with. Beautiful. Trans women do respect you women out there, 100%. They know where they come from. They don't want to take your space. They love you. She's so based and so great. And I just want to leave you with that. I don't want to always leave you with a bad taste in your mouth that there are all these crazy trans women. Those crazy trans women are not trans women. They're cross-dressers and they're fetishists and they're trying to run us over. Dr. Rachel Levine is not trans. She's not trans, or he, or whatever it is. That's a fetishist. Okay. So that's what I want to leave you with. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for hearing me. Thank you for pushing against me. Thank you for having your own ideas. Thank you for letting me on some level give you different ways of being. Let me encouraging you to stand up. I know not everybody can do it. By being here, you're doing that. And I know everyone, it's just a space we've been put into. Okay. So with that, you guys all have a beautiful 4th of July. Yay. And celebrate this country and understand that me and you have the power to bring everything back around. And we are the people. Den Mother, I would love to start a series called TNT Transsexuals. That's right. We should actually do something like that. I'm too busy, but you can figure it out. And thank you all for all the super chats. Kara is a really good friend of mine. Thank you for saying that. She's also awesome. I'm going to get an interview with her soon. Okay, so she's great. If you don't know who Kara is, you should follow her. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate you so much. Check out Alexis, also another great one. Great. I got to bring her on the channel too. Thank you for reminding me. There's many of them. There's so many of them. They're great. Melissa, thank you. Thanks for all the videos. You are doing amazing work. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for joining me. Have a beautiful 4th of July. Have a great family time. I'll see you guys all on the next one. You are the people. You are the power. Don't forget it. Vote, vote, vote. Okay, I'll see you guys all later.